Old Charlie and his two brothers, Ben, who's 4, and Sam, aged 2, are the Middlesbrough mascots on the day their father, Paul, plays against the club, for whom he made 425 appearances and scored 99 goals before his £5 million transfer last summer. Merson has a new partner up front today. The Bolivian international Jaime Moreno starts the match, along with 20-year-old Craig Harrison at left back and two 18-year-olds, Anthony Ormerod and Andy Campbell, in the wide positions. Brian Robson rests Pearson, Hignett, Beck and Kinder, perhaps with Tuesday's Coca-Cola semi-final at Liverpool in mind. Indeed, only Fester and Mustoe of that 11 were in the starting lineup at Wembley last May. Well, Arsenal are below full strength for different reasons. David Seaman's fractured finger gives 20-year-old Alex Manninger his chance in goal. Tony Adams' return is at the expense of hamstring victim Martin Keown, and a similar injury continues to keep out Ian Wright. But Mark Overmars has recovered and returns on the left. So the presence of Tony Adams restores the famous Arsenal back four. Dixon, Bold, Adams and Winterburn, the Matthew, Mark, Luke and John of football. They've been preaching the Arsenal gospel for nearly 10 years. So on a heavy pitch, Mike Riley of Leeds starts what is Middlesbrough's 24th major cup tie since the start of last season. They reached Wembley twice then, of course, and both Borough and Arsenal one step away from facing Coca-Cola Cup semi-finals this coming week. The first offside flag is up. Jaime Moreno on loan only for the moment until February. He actually got round the work permit problem by marrying a Teesside girl. Number 3 there is Harrison for Middlesbrough. Down by the riverside, the crowd around 30,000 for this cup tie. Big day for these young Middlesbrough players who Brian Robson has had confidence in. That was Anelka for Arsenal, and here's a chase on for Overmars in the first couple of minutes. It's a chance, and it's a goal! And Arsenal have taken the lead in their first attack, and it's Overmars. Only a minute gone, and the shock of their lives for Middlesbrough. Mark Overmars back in the team is clear here. Middlesbrough are caught square, and he takes the shot from outside the area, and it goes wide on Mark Schwarzer and gives Arsenal a flying start to this cup tie. Well, that must be, I would imagine, the quickest goal of the day. And for Brian Robson, it was a shattering opening to a game which Middlesbrough needed to approach with some confidence. This is Fester. Back in by Mustoe to Merson. And can he get Ormerod through here for Middlesbrough? The wise head of Steve Bold against the former colleague Merson there. Here's Vieira. And Arsenal are spreading out again to the right-hand side here. Middlesbrough are a bit undermanned on that flank at the moment. And here's Anelka through the centre. Chance on again. And not far away from 2-0. Nicholas Anelka. Similar to the move from which Overmars scored, and Middlesbrough are being ripped apart in defence. They're giving Arsenal players clear runs on goal. This is Bergkamp, who just delayed the pass nicely, disguised, and then just drifted into the path of Anelka. Look where Fester is. He's nowhere near him. And Anelka can line up the shot, and unlike Overmars, he steered it just wide. Vieira, tackled by Mustoe. Cut out by Maddison to Ormerod. Merson. Harrison. Oh, he's given it away, the youngster. He's given it straight to Overmars. You really can't afford to do that against top-class opposition, not when these overseas players are in such form. Here's Overmars again from Bergkamp's pass, and he got that one all wrong. Clean through again, though. And Middlesbrough without their captain, Nigel Pearson, to do the organising back there. But wait a moment. brothers. A chance here for Middlesbrough, and Manninger gets a hand to it. And Arsenal were caught in much the same way. Jaime Moreno beat the offside trap and was clear. Manninger came to meet him, cut down the angle and did enough. It's a good save by the goalkeeper. He's an athletic figure, is Manninger, and he just palmed away Moreno's effort. Well, Merson took the corner and just curled it over the bar. But that was a good chance for Middlesbrough. And the feature of this opening quarter of an hour is how both sides, Arsenal in particular, have got a man clean through the opposing back line. Ball comes over the top there. And Middlesbrough get the free kick. And Maddison's gone forward on the far side. Merson will take it, and Vickers is on his way up as well, and so is Vesta. Memories of the FA Cup final here when Vesta had one disallowed. Vickers is coming in now. That's come out to Townsend. Oh, look at this. It's one against one again. Anelka. And they need to cover quickly. Arsenal have got players coming from everywhere. It's a real chance for Arsenal. It's 2-0. And it's Ray Parlour. They both broke completely clear of the Middlesbrough defence, and Parlour thumps it in to make it 2-0 to Arsenal with only 19 minutes gone. Anelka plays the ball, bypasses one, finds another, and Parlour is clear of the defender, and that's a really solid finish. But Anelka's ball there again splits the Middlesbrough defence. They're just chasing shadows now as Parlour drives it in. Well, have Arsenal laid this cup tie to rest in the first 20 minutes? Brian Robson hopes not, but his team are very much on the back foot now. Muster, Townsend. Well played by Ormerod for Middlesbrough. That's a bit more promising, but only until Patu got a touch. And now Parlour's got Bergkamp and Anelka up front, spreading wide again. Anelka. Parlour, touched on by Bergkamp to Overmars. Again, Arsenal using the full width of the pitch and getting players free. Now Vieira. He missed out there. And it was Vesta who came forward and had the shot. But in that first half, Middlesbrough had haunted memories of Wembley. Di Matteo in 45 seconds that day. Overmars today in just over a minute with the first goal for Arsenal. And following that up, another goal right clear of the defence, Ray Parlour. And it was a disappointing first half for Middlesbrough, and Paul Merson, he goes off at half-time, 2 down to his old club. No question in my mind that Brian Robson and the chairman here, Steve Gibson, have pinpointed promotion as the definite priority, if necessary, at the expense of the cups this season for Middlesbrough. They're so determined to regain the Premiership position they lost under somewhat contentious circumstances last season. Well, it's run on for Ormerod. And here's Moreno. Merson's it. Oh, there's a chance there, and over the bar by Robbie Mustoe. The best opportunity that Middlesbrough have had. It was good work down the right. Jaime Moreno with the cross, and there's no question that Moreno found Mustoe in a position ahead of his markers there. Set up first of all by Ormerod, then it's Moreno, and the cross. Yes, he's got in front of Dixon there, Mustoe. Now, Paul Merson hasn't been in the game much. Here he is again, though. Oh, he might have been there. He very nearly put Maddison in for Middlesbrough. Bergkamp for Arsenal. And this is where Middlesbrough have left themselves undermanned again. There are two players to his left, and Anelka let that one run to Overmars, and Arsenal here are in again, and a golden opportunity to make it 3-0 goes begging. Mark Overmars drags his shot wide, but there must have been a little touch on it because it's a corner. What an opening. There's no Middlesbrough defender in sight here when Overmars gets the ball. He looks up, and this counts as a deflection, actually a good one by number 12, Steve Baker, who prevented that from going in. Bold in the near post area here for Arsenal. Moreno. Overmars again, he's having a good match, seeing plenty of the ball and plenty of chances as well coming his way. Steve Bold is still up here, and rather a clumsy challenge by him. He found himself in somewhat unfamiliar territory, bearing in mind it was open play. Steve Bold. Watson and Bill Anderson down there spreading their hands as if to say, what do we do now? And the goalkeeper's committed himself very rashly. Paul Merson surely for Middlesbrough. They're back in the game, and he's scored against his old club. Oh yes, that's the one that Merson was looking for, and it's brought the Riverside Stadium to light. Depressing until then for Brian Robson and Middlesbrough, but suddenly there's hope, and the man who's brought it about from Musto's pass is the former Arsenal favourite himself. Merson gets in behind the defence for the first time today. Alex Manninger really committing himself way out of his penalty area, and after that, with the unerring accuracy of Merson, there was only one place the ball was going to go. Goalkeeper perhaps will look back on that, taking nothing away from Merson, and see it as an error of judgment. He certainly came tearing out, although I think Tony Adams might still have got there. Well, I take nothing away from Middlesbrough, but Arsenal have got themselves into a bit of a corner here of their own making. They could have had this completely sewn up. Instead, Middlesbrough need one to get level. Here's Hignett. Merson. Good turn. And Merson flicks offside, Andy Townsend. It's not going to count. Some magic here from Merson, and, well, was he, or was the flag up against Moreno on our near side? Very tight decision against Townsend. Middlesbrough perhaps a little unlucky from Merson's pass. It's still 2-1. Forward by Bold, that's going towards Overmars. Oh, and Vickers wasn't sure, and Overmars put it inside for Bergkamp, and that's over the top. But it could have been 3-1. And again, Middlesbrough would have had themselves to blame, really, because Overmars wasn't the favourite for that when it was first lofted over to that side of the pitch. Vickers had to watch on then as Bergkamp lobbed the goalkeeper, but cleared the crossbar. So into the last 5 minutes of this fourth round cup tie on Teesside. Middlesbrough 1, Arsenal 2. That header was by Beck. This is Merson. Tries it from way out. Typical Paul Merson effort. Just wonder whether Manninger was taken slightly by surprise or whether he had the post covered. Either way, it was well worth a try. Beck flicks it on here. Merson gets in front of Steve Bold, just jerks the ball up with one foot and volleys it with the other. That's a lovely piece of skill. Well, he had got the post covered just. Now, here comes Dixon for Arsenal. Anelka. And it's Beck picking up that flick from Maddison, and then from Merson. Nico Beck! Oh, what a chance for the equaliser! And he knows he should have done better. Take nothing away from the young goalkeeper, who came out to shut down the space, but Paul Merson put Mikel Beck in there for what could easily have been 2-2. Grimondi back to Meninga. Poor kick by him, straight to Musto. And the touch on here has found Townsend. Real chances for Middlesbrough at the last. Oh, it's been steered out. Arsenal are saying there was a flag on the far side. It was Petit who cleared from Beck in the 6-yard area. I think they were actually saying there should have been a flag. I didn't see one. They were appealing for offside. And the header out comes to Harrison. And oh, it's come out to Anelka. Middlesbrough didn't really get... They've got a chance now, though. It's Festa. Bergkamp, 2 to his left, 1 to his right. This is Grimondi. Well, we've played now 4.5 minutes of stoppage time. It's forward by Townsend, but it's too far forward for Middlesbrough. And Arsenal are through to the 5th round of the FA Cup. Arsene Wenger's team took charge of the match in the first half. And although Middlesbrough responded well after half-time, with Paul Merson getting perhaps the inevitable goal against his old club, despite one being disallowed for Andy Townsend, he and Middlesbrough couldn't quite do it. They played a lot better after half-time, the nationwide team, but their priorities lie elsewhere. The final score here at the Riverside Stadium is Middlesbrough 1, Arsenal 2.
I think we played a great first hour, and when Middlesbrough came back to 2-1, of course you're under pressure. That's normal, and but we gave 1 or 2 chances away, but overall I think in the last 10 minutes we were not too much under pressure.
First half was men against boys, schoolboy errors with men finishing them, and they punished us. Maybe, no disrespect to teams in our league, maybe we'd have got away with it, but not against the big boys.
Now, playing against your old side can be very difficult sometimes, but how did you find it today?
I found it enjoyable. You know, I tried to enjoy the game, you know, keep a smile on my face, whatever the result. But that was hard first half, the way it was going. But, you know, I enjoyed every minute of the second half, and, you know, it was a fair result in the end.
It's a league our priority. It's nice to be in the cups and everything else, but the league is the more important thing for us. And it was good for the kids today, you know, they're playing at this level. They never played before at this level, and they would just say how they did. And I thought they did all right.
It was an exciting tie with lots of chances. What did you make of Middlesbrough leaving out some of their more experienced players for that match today?
Well, I think that the Premiership was a priority for them. I don't think they've got the strength and depth to fight in 3 fronts. It'll be interesting to see what team they put out against Liverpool in the Coca-Cola Cup next week. But today they played another strength side. I mean, it's a major competition. You know, in the 4th round, they're at home. You'd have thought, play your best side and have a go. But brave decision, I think the right decision, because the priority is definitely the Premiership. And what you don't want, if you've got an understrength side, is to lose a goal early on. Now here are the men, the key men, Maddison and Overmars. Look how far Overmars away from Maddison, but Maddison goes to sleep, Overmars gets through, and it's in the back of the net. And that's in the first minute. Arsenal could have been 5 or 6 up in the first half, and then with half an hour to go, Middlesbrough score, and Arsenal